All right. Excuse me. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the this month's live reading of um, on my channel. My name is Lucas Flint. I am the author of The Superhero Son, Minimum Wage Sidekick, Legacy Superhero, and of course, Capes Online, among other many other superhero books and series. Do uh, a live reading of the first chapter of one of my books, and normally I do this earlier in the month, usually like on the first or second, but I just got back from a writers conference here in Oklahoma City called WriterCon, which happened over Labor Day weekend. So I was very busy with that and didn't really have time for much else. But WriterCon's over now and I'm back home, so back to work. At least until later this month when I go to another conference. Um, so, but that hopefully should not interfere with the reading after this. But anyway, so with that out of the way, so tonight we're doing a live reading of Capes Online #1, The Player Blackout. Capes Online is the first book in my little RPG superhero series called Capes Online. It came out back in 2019. It's a 7-book series, so about a it's about a former police officer named Niall Maxwell who ends up dying on the first day on the job and then wakes up to find himself find his mind uploaded into a video game called Capes Online, which is like this massively popular virtual reality MMORPG. Um, and so he finds himself having to adjust to his new life in the video game world, until eventually it's come into conflict with the villainous Dark Cosmos, a rogue NPC who takes over Capes Online and traps all the players, forcing Niall to become the superhero Winter and become a real hero. So Capes Online is probably one of my favorite series I wrote. Because it was a personal challenge for me. It was my first lit RPG series. I actually explored lit RPG a little bit in Lightning Bolt with the second book, The Superhero's Glitch, which has some minor lit RPG elements. But Capes Online was my first full-on lit RPG, where the lit RPG elements are front and center, and it was very much more of a lit RPG novel than a strictly superhero one. So, I've received compliments that the game system that I devised, seemed like a real video game and seemed easy enough to follow, which was my goal when I was designing it. So I ended up doing a lot of research into game design and doing market research into the RPG books and stuff to see how other people did it. So I was very pleased when the book took off when I released it back in 2019. It's actually the Player Blackout's actually my highest ranking book that I've ever published, on Amazon. When I released it, I believe it peaked in the top 1,500. Might have gotten to the top 1,300. I think so. Yeah. So just briefly, so it was which actually was higher than the Superheroes Test, which was my last, which got up into the top 2,000. So I was very happy with that. So anyways, I'm just gonna read the first chapter, and we'll see, see how it stacks up, and as always, you can feel free to comment in the chat on the side or post your comments below. And once I'm done reading the chapter, I'll give my thoughts and some commentary, and then I'll answer any questions in the chat. So yeah, let me get some water real quick, just so I can get so I'm not too dry. Okay. So, because these live readings tend to dry my mouth out. So let's start with. So let's start the reading. I'll just scroll down a bit. Scrolling down. All right. So, Chapter 1. It's amazing how fast your life can change in the blink of an eye to prove yourself and serve your community. You just bought your first home, you're engaged to your longtime girlfriend, and you're even thinking about children. Oh, and your dad just recently confirmed to the Supreme Court too, which is pretty cool as well. But then you lose all that because of one idiot who robbed a bank and decided to take you on a high-speed chase down a crowded highway during rush hour. And then you get into a car crash due to the actions of said idiot and die. And that's that. Everything you had, gone, in the blink of an eye, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, of course, I don't know that I'm dead. If I was really dead, would I be able to think any of this? I was taught about heaven and hell and all that in state school when I was a kid, but I'm not sure how much of that. And if I was dead, was this heaven or hell? The place I stood in was a pure white, nothingness. For as far as the eye could see, it was just empty nothingness. No ground, no sky, no buildings or people or animals. Hell, there wasn't even any wind. It was pure emptiness. It was also eerily quiet and had no discernible scent that I could smell. But the freakiest thing, I didn't have a body either. When I looked down at myself, I saw nothing. I didn't see my freshly clean, brand new police officer uniform. I didn't see the scar on my left palm I got when I cut my hand when I was cutting some apples when I was 13. I didn't see my shiny police shoes or my holstered gun. I saw nothing. Nothing at all. Again, I wondered, was this heaven or hell? Or maybe it was that purgatory place that Catholics believed in. I was raised Baptist, so purgatory wasn't part of my theology, but maybe the Baptist or the Catholic minister didn't care much for the Catholic Church, for sure. Don't worry, Niall, said a voice behind me I did not recognize. You aren't in heaven, hell, or even purgatory. You aren't even an action movie like a human being. To see who had spoken. Sitting behind a desk directly across from me, as if he was supposed to be there, was an Arab man I'd never seen before. He wore a fine blue suit which did not have a single crest or stain anywhere. His short beard was extremely well trimmed, putting my old goatee to shame, and he wore here. Then again, I didn't see the sun, stars, or any sort of artificial light, which made me wonder how I was seeing anything at all. Who are you? I said. And how do you know my name? The man smiled. I know everything about you, Niall Maxwell. Or should I say, Niall Maxwell II, son of Niall Maxwell I. A fine Texas judge who was recently confirmed to the Supreme Court after Justice Peterson's untimely death. You are 25 years old, an inhabitant of Kane, Texas, where you recently started working for the Kane City Police Department, and you are engaged to Sally De Leon, also of Kane, Texas, a registered nurse, who you have been dating for 2 years now. She was quite relieved when you finally asked her to marry you, I heard. I bit my lower lip. Privacy wasn't really a thing nowadays, thanks to the way the internet penetrated nearly every facet of our lives. But I found the way this man rattled off my every detail, even down to how Sally felt about me finally proposing to her, unnerving to say the least, especially since I had never. The man raised the folder off his desk with my name, Niall Maxwell, stamped across it. Oh, I was never a very good student in school. One of my fellow agents did most of the footwork on you. Although considering how much you and your fiancé use social media, I doubt it took him long to collect all the pertinent information. And more. Much, much more. I reached out with a hand toward the folder, but stopped when I realized I had a body now. I looked down and saw that I looked much the same way I did in the car crash, which was a very odd feeling. Sorry about that, said the man as he lowered my folder down to his desk. I've been aware there's still some issues with the body scanning process, which means that sometimes the mind is uploaded before the system finishes scanning the body. I've been told that being a very disturbing and potentially traumatic. Disturbing, yes, I said, feeling my body just to make sure it was real. Traumatic, I guess I'll find out. I'm pretty tough. I can handle things most other people can't. The man raised an eyebrow. But there's a special abode in hell for the arrogant. So I take it this isn't hell, I said, looking around the white void with pitchforks. As I said, this is neither heaven nor hell, said the man, but it is an afterlife. Or your afterlife, anyway, if you choose to make it that. I looked directly at the man. Forgive me for my rudeness, but I find it a little unfair how you know everything about me, down to the color of my underwear, probably. But I don't even know your name. It's Charles, said the man simply. Charles Omar. I am an agent for the Department of Virtual Reality, assigned to help you and about 5 others smoothly make the transition from the real world to this one. I frowned. I'd heard about the Department of Virtual Reality, of course. Established 14 years ago in 2019, 2029 by President Michael Crane, the Department of Virtual Reality enforced the law in the realm of VR, which had exploded in popularity in America and abroad with the release of VR MMORPGs like Capes Online and others. I only knew this because Sally was a big political junkie and she had a tendency to rant to me about whatever the current political hot topic of the day was, although I couldn't give a damn about any of it myself. What do you mean by transition there, Chuck? I said. Do you mind if I call you Chuck? Charles' left eye twitched slightly. I think it is time I told you I was driving down the highway trying to catch that idiot Bryce Cunningham, and then we got into a huge car wreck because he slammed into me, and then we crashed into a fuel truck, and, well, after that, I don't know what happened. I assume I died, but given how I'm talking to you, I think that's probably not a safe assumption to make. It is not, Chuck agreed. You're correct on the other details, however. On the morning of Tuesday, the 2nd of January, 2043, at exactly 10 o'clock in the morning, you went on a high-speed chase to capture the wanted criminal Bryce Cunningham, who had robbed Kane First National Bank that same day. You chased Mr. Cunningham for approximately 10 minutes and 31 seconds before the two of you crashed into an automated fuel truck, killing both of you, as well as killing about a dozen other people on the busy highway at the same time. I grimaced. Oh, I didn't know that. Chuck waved off my concern. It is not relevant to this discussion. Anyway, both of you were technically killed. Both of you technically were killed, or at least your bodies were. But human beings, I hope you understand, are more than just our bodies. We have souls, minds, things which separate us from animals. I cracked a grin. I don't know, my dog Joey was pretty smart, although the only words he seemed to understand were walk and food. Chuck continued as if I hadn't said a word. Allow me to welcome you to your second chance at life. To a second life, you might say. No longer will you live with a flesh and blood physical body. Instead, you will dwell in virtual reality. I welcome you to Project Second Life, where those who died prematurely get a second chance at life itself. So, alright. That was Chapter 1 of the Player Blackout. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink. So, yeah, that was, like I said, that was the first chapter of the Player Blackout. It was really fun to write. Like, this was probably one of my favorite books to write. I was very pleased. Chapter, like rereading it now. I mean, not to toot my own horn, of course, but it's actually better than I remembered it even, which is impressive because most of the time my stuff's usually not as good as I remembered it. Of course, I'm a writer, and we're always our worst critics. So, I mean, the books, like I said, the book sold well. It ranked really well on Amazon, and it's got lots of. So obviously, it did something right. So, yeah. The first chapter, I feel like it did a good job with introducing, getting intrigue, introducing Niall and Chuck, and with some subtle foreshadowing of certain events that would happen later on in the series, even some themes that would be explored later on in greater detail. Which, anyways, if you've read the Capes Online series before, you probably caught those references too, which I'm pointing out because I didn't remember putting those there. So I guess my creative muse or subconscious, or whatever you want to call it, put those there. So my original part of my inspiration for the Capes Online series was when I was looking around at all the RPG books on Amazon. I noticed that there really were books at the time. I mean, and of the ones that were there, they were like harem stuff, like mostly, which, some people like that, some people don't. I personally am not a fan of that type of story, and so I'm probably not going to be writing any harems anytime soon, but like, I didn't see any straight up adventure fiction, which I thought was kind of sad, because to me, the RPG and super, those are both very good big genres with a lot of creative potential. So I was also inspired because my own readers, like I did some polls and reader surveys and found out that they wanted that there was a pretty big overlap between my superhero fans and RPG readers. Like, I had a lot of readers who wanted to see a RPG from me. So I came up with the idea of Nile and you know Nile Maxwell and Capes Online Winter and all that stuff, and after several months of research and stuff, I sat down and wrote it, and I said I think it was probably one of my best. Player Blackout is probably one of my best books, and the whole Capes Online series, I feel as a whole, was probably one of my best series. I feel like the Superhero Sun is still what I'm probably best known for, and probably my still my most successful series. But Capes Online, it's probably my second best series, and I think it has the potential to grow, continue to grow. So yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed it, and so yeah, I guess that's about all I have to say. Read the rest of Capes Online #1, The Player Blackout. There should be a link to in the description below. It's on Amazon. You can buy an ebook or paperback, and it's even an audio, so you don't have to listen to my voice as I read it. You can get it on Audible by the talented Joe Hempel. So if you want to do that, you can. Just fair warning, Capes Online only has the first 2 books in audio, and the other books aren't audio yet. I'm not sure when. I'd like to get the rest of them in audio. I think it would be good, but audiobooks are a bit more complicated to make than ebooks, so probably not going to happen anytime soon. But like I said, and also the ebooks are in Kindle Unlimited as well. So if you want to, so you have your Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can get all 7 books for free, or as part of your subscription technically, and read them that way. So, in terms, let me see the comments real quick. Let's see if I had any chat. I do not see anybody in the chat, so that's fine. Most people tend to watch these readings after they go live anyway, so feel free to comment in the comment section below if you want, after this video is done, and I still respond to comments even after the live stream's over, so feel free to comment there if you want. So for our next live reading, will be the first chapter of VR Hero #4 Order, which is launching Friday, October 1st. So that'll be the next live reading session, since that's going to be my new book. Because VR Hero is also a lit RPG series, actually sequel series, Capes Online. And you can, so if you enjoyed Capes Online, you'll probably enjoy VR Hero. You can go and read the first 3 books for that series are out already on Amazon and Kindle Unlimited and paperback and hardcover. So, like I said, the 4th book is on pre-order. A bunch of stuff. I might get it. I might record it tomorrow. I might record it Thursday or Friday. Probably Thursday. But I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. I'll try to fit it into my schedule. So, but that will probably be the next video. And obviously that'll be a pre-recorded video. It's not gonna be a live stream as the AMA videos tend to be. So, you just but if you want to live stream it or just know when my next video is, subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe link below. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll always know when my new videos go up. And yeah, so that's all for now. I don't know the exact date the next live stream will be. I'll just see, because I'll be busy in early October with some things. So it may end up being like maybe October 4th or 5th, possibly. I don't know. I'll have a I'll figure that out soon. In any case, yeah. So, but yeah, I'll be VR Hero #4. So, all right, that's all. It's for tonight. Thank you for listening or watching, and whether you watch it live or you listen to this recording afterward. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you also enjoyed